Welcome to another edition of Agency Scaling Secrets. I am Solomon Timothy. Today's question that I want to unwrap is, how do I start a digital marketing agency? This is a question that I get very often, so let's get started. So today's question is, hey, how do I start a digital marketing agency? I'm going to revise this question for you. I'm going to say, hey, how do I start a scalable digital marketing agency? There are a lot of agencies where the partners are doing the work. And let me tell you, it's only going to go so far before every single person is maxed out, working 70, 80 hours a week. They're going to get burned out. That doesn't really excite anyone. So it's not a scalable business. So I'm going to teach you how to start and scale a digital marketing agency. So I like to break it down into a couple of pieces because I don't like complicated things personally, and anything that's easy, I can get my head around it. All right. So I'm going to teach you three things that I want you to focus on as you're trying to scale. So the first and foremost that I would say is focus on who is going to do the work. As I said before, it's really exciting if you're going to do it because you want to get your hands on, but you're going to hit your capacity really soon. So scalability is not an option if you are the founder or you're the person that's really behind the company and you're trying to do all the work. Now, every agency has this part where the founder is working 24 hours a day trying to keep it up. They don't have any friends and family, because guess what? I was there as well, right? And that was the way that a lot of founders start. Now, after years of doing that, I realized that is not going to work. So early on in our business, we hired people. We hired more people than we needed because my job was to delegate all the responsibility so that other people were doing the work of the business. So you're going to have to really figure out who is that team that's going to carry out the fulfillment even before you get your first customer. Because as soon as you start working behind the business, what you're going to do is you're going to forget about prospecting and reaching out to new businesses, and your sales pipeline dries up and you really don't have any new customers. And that is not going to help you build that scalable business that you're trying to scale, right? So what I want you to think about is, who's the team? Now, here at Clickx, one of the things that we do is help agencies scale by doing the fulfillment work for agencies. So a lot of people come to us and say, hey, I'm trying to get into this. We're a branding agency. We're trying to do Facebook ads. Can you help? We're a video production company. Can you do our ads to promote the videos that we're creating? Or we're a branding agency. We're a PR agency. All these types of agencies reach out to us and say, hey, help me scale this part of our business that we're now building. Again, they're focusing on the team that's going to carry out the work before they go and sign up for 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 customers, right? So it's a smart move to figure out who is going to carry out the work once you land the first customer, because you want to have a really amazing onboarding experience, right? You don't want to be looking for the contractor as soon as you've closed the deal and then it doesn't come through in 1 or 2 or 3 days. Now people are waiting because they've paid you. It's a bad experience, and a lot of agencies trying to do that too, which I don't think is the best experience for the customer or the agency. Why waste your time trying to do that? Vet the people that you're going to work with. Really make sure that everybody's in agreement. All the things are signed and you know what it's going to cost and there's no surprises, right? You really want to make sure this is how things are going to go the moment somebody says yes. Now, once you have that part, what I want you to think about is the leads that you're going to be working with. How do you plan on generating leads? How do you plan on generating qualified leads? People that are interested in what you have to offer. So in many cases, a lot of agencies struggle because the biggest challenges for an agency is getting new customers because of the fact that they don't really have qualified leads. So if you don't have good leads, you don't have any good meetings, you don't have any good meetings, you don't have any proposals, no proposals, you're not closing anything. So what I want you to really understand here is the power of having a focus or a niche for your agency. So I've created a lot of content about niche and how to pick one and how do you go about that. And also, we do live demos every week, which we talk about this. We have case studies in every industry that you can imagine. So this is an area that we really support our partners. But what you're going to really have to do is figure out who is this niche that you're going to serve, because leads become the biggest thing that you're going to need to talk to. Whether you do outbound or inbound, it doesn't really matter. You're going to need people that are interested to give you the time. They booked a call on your calendar to talk to you about serving whatever their challenges are, right? So imagine that. This is going to be your biggest hurdle if you're just getting started. Now, after you have 5 customers, they'll give you some referrals. They'll introduce you to people that they know that need the services. You could easily go and scale. Now, the first few is going to be challenging. if you don't have any leads at all. We teach every single model there is: outbound, inbound, LinkedIn, Facebook ads, Google. Everything is necessary in the early days and as you're trying to scale as many leads as possible. But for the purpose of this video, I really want to focus on the fact that leads are going to be the second thing that you're going to do, because you really want to make sure that the contracting team can get the job done, right? You're not going to look for leads if the person that you're trying to work with can only do SEO. It just doesn't make any sense. So you really want to make sure you're congruent in the strategy as you're carrying this out. And the third piece that you really have to work on is the sales side. Sales is both the people side of it, the sales process. Who is going to conduct that? Are you going to hire people? Are you going to have a closer? Are you going to have a contractor? Or are you going to do it yourself? I believe it's way more scalable to do the sales in the beginning yourselves and not the fulfillment, rather than outsourcing the sales and take on the fulfillment. Because at the end of the day, as the business owner, you should be working on the business, which is revenue generating. Sales is revenue generating last time I checked. So founders and leaders and partners should work on getting new customers, right? Getting in front of the right companies, getting and building that relationship so that later on they can refer you to other people. But before you do that, you're going to need the leads. And before you do that, you're going to need the team. This is 3 simple steps that you should be taking right now. A lot of people says, well, I'm going to go build a website. Well, let me tell you, you don't need a website. You don't need a website because you use a landing page, you can use a funnel, you can do anything to generate the leads. A website is not a prerequisite last time I checked. A lot of people make all these other obstacles that take a lot more time and energy, maybe weeks and months before you can start getting your first customer. In my opinion, it doesn't need to be that complicated. You could have a simple page that explains what your company does. That's sufficient to get started. A lot of agency owners put other things in front, like, oh, I'm gonna go take a course or certification or this or that. If you're an entrepreneur, you know how important it is to get started and get moving and building that momentum. That's what I said. Building the team that's going to do the work and it's not going to rely on you is the first thing that you're going to have to do. Therefore, then you can go get the type of leads based on your niche, who you're going after, the type of customers that you're trying to attract to your agency, and then work on closing them. If you could do that, once you have the leads and the sales working, hire other salespeople to help you, whether it's prospecting or closing or onboarding customers. All of that stuff can follow. You don't have to put anything more complicated in front of it. And besides, you're supposed to be able to get going very quickly, because one of the biggest things about digital marketing, what I really love about it, it is scalable, it's profitable, and best part is you can work from anywhere, right? You don't have to be attached to your business. It's not a physical thing. You could be anywhere. You could travel around the world and still run an agency, where a lot of companies you cannot do that, right? If you have to meet business owners or individuals face to face, or you have to be using some manufacturing equipment to produce the products, a lot of business you can't do that. And this is one of those businesses that you can charge a lot and really help someone build their business and do that remotely all at the same time. So I know a lot of entrepreneurs that do that, a lot of agency owners, they're not even in the same country as their customers. This is an exciting space to be in, and it's growing ever so rapidly. We should know, because we work with thousands of partners just like you. So hopefully you've gotten some value out of this video. You've learned a couple of things that you need to really make sure you nail before you start scaling. It's a really, really important piece. And if you like this video, click that like button, consider subscribing, leave me a comment. Tell me what you're going to do and what niche are you going to be serving in your new agency that you're starting. Love to see your comments, love to connect with you on a personal basis, and reach out to us if you have any questions, and I will see you next time.